So, after a conversation earlier on with somebody else about hammocks and tarps and the sort of coverage you can get from them, I thought I'd pop up onto my local wooded hill, which I use a lot for my walking and for sort of general exercise, and I'll do a little video showing my 4 hammocks and 4 of my main tarps that I would use the hammocks. So I've got my Superlight Jungle Hammock, which you can see off to the left. I have the DD Camper Hammock, which you can see off to the right. Behind that I have the DD Travel Hammock, which is pretty much the frontline hammock but with the waterproof base. And behind it, which you can't quite see, under that tarp in the back there, is the DD Superlight Hammock, which is probably the hammock I use the most. So this is the DD Camper Hammock, being modelled by my daughter, who's 5 going on 15. It is very simple. It's a very basic hammock. It unzips down one side so you can get in between the 2 layers. I'm not convinced they're waterproof, but they're certainly very wind resistant. And over the top of it is the DD 3 metre by 4.5 metre tarp, laid out sort of length across. The purpose of this is to give you plenty of coverage. As you can see, it drops down the back of the hammock, but it gives you this massive admin area where you can practically have a party. It's huge. Well, apologies for the brief pause. We were interrupted by a dog walker who you can probably see in the far distance walking past, who thought we were going to be lighting fires and camping up in this nature reserve, which unfortunately does have regular fires. I have put her mind at ease, but I think my daughter had something funny to do. Are you pulling funny faces? How to ruin a perfectly good video. So 3 by 4.5 metre tarp, loads of space underneath if you want. I probably wouldn't put it up diagonally. But in bad weather you could put it the other way up, which is really the way it's intended. So you've got a 4.5 metre length, which gives you lots of coverage off the ends of your hammock, and you can batten down the edges by the 3 metres, which would be almost like an extra long version of the 3 metre tarp laid up square. Speaking of the 3 metre tarp, that's where we're going to go to next. This is the DD Travel Hammock without the poles in the net, because I forgot them, because they're in my wife's kit bag. And the 3 metre by 3 metre DD tarp laid up diagonally. This is without a doubt my oldest DD hammock kit, in fact my oldest hammock kit. It was the first one I got. It's still going strong. This tarp has stood up to some pretty massive storms, and yeah, I must have been running this for about 3 years now. The hammock is super comfy, possibly the most comfortable of my hammocks because it's quite rigid. It doesn't stretch much when you get into it, and the only real downside is the waterproof base. In the summer, and even in the spring actually, it can get a bit moist in there from condensation, as it'll trap the condensation. If I had my time again, if I was to buy this hammock all over again, I would probably get the front line. It is a touch lighter and a touch smaller in pack size as well, but not enough to make a massive difference. It's just that one condensation issue that I don't really get on with. But it works really well, even in winter. I've got an under blanket somewhere. I'm not going to do that in this video. I was going to, but I'm not going to. And I've got an Arctic sleeping bag, and this would generally be my winter hammocking kit. This one here is the DD Superlight Jungle Hammock, and on top of it I've got the 4x4 tarp. You wouldn't really need a tarp over the jungle hammock if you're just sleeping in it, although I do tend to use one, because the DD Jungle Hammock has got this tarp, I'm going to say built into it. It's not built into it, it's separate. It's on the back, as you can see. It's built over the top, or it's fitted over the top, looped on these points on all 4 sides, and then it's got a bungee cord that runs up to your carabiner, pulling it tight. I've been in a storm in it, stayed dry all night. I have chucked a sleeping bag in the bottom of that, all rolled up, just to add a bit of weight, because being super light material, it is actually super light, and it can blow about a bit. and even turn itself upside down with the poles being heavier than the material. But that's not a negative, that's just the result of Superlight material. The 4x4 meter tarp creates lots of protection. You can bring it right down at the back. If it's really bad, you can bring it down at the front as well. Well, if it's raining at all, you bring it down because that's a flat roof and it'll gather. When the weather's good, or if you're being sociable with your mates who are hanging up around you, pop a couple of bits of stick, a couple of poles, whatever you've got, lift it up, and you've got a nice little sociable area you can sit underneath, shade from the sun, shelter from the drizzle if it's only a bit of drizzle. None of the cords are pulled particularly tight, I only popped this all up quickly to make this video. But yeah, the 4x4 does give a massive amount of coverage. You can do it diagonally, it's huge diagonally. In fact, I tried, couldn't get it up in this space between these trees, unfortunately. Should have planned this video better really, use a wider space, but it is what it is, and we're here. So the DD Superlight Hammock and the 4m×4m tarp. The real disadvantage with the 4x4 over the 3x3 is its massively increased pack size. You've got another 9 square meters on this, which is a significant difference. So the DD Superlight Tarp and the DD Superlight Hammock. This is probably my most commonly used hammock combination. And the tarp itself I use without the hammock on mountains and stuff. I've survived a storm on the side of Snowdon in this tarp. Me and a friend set up in an A-frame format with a couple of walking poles. I've used it loads of times. It's almost 3 meters by 3 meters. It's 3 by 2.9. I'm not sure why there's that 2.9. I'm not sure the purpose. My only assumption is that it was the easiest way to reach a weight goal, I guess. I don't know. We'd have to ask DD about that. So this is Sophie. She's about to show us how we get into the Superlight hammock. It seems like it's really high, but it's rather stretchy, so you have to set this one up a little bit higher than the others. And there she is, look, in the hammock, chilling and relaxing. Let's see your face, girlie. How is that? Is it comfy?
Yeah.
Is it the comfiest?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but it's close.
It's like a sleeping bag.
There we go, DD Superlight Hammock. The DD Superlight Tarp, this time set up in like an A-frame format. One of the things you might notice, this Superlight, this 3x3 over here, have got a ridge line running underneath the tarp, which is the way I normally do it. It makes it much straighter at the edge and it gives it way better support. The 4.5x3 and the 4x4 haven't. They've just got lines tied to the loops and pulled up reasonably quickly really. It's all about speed just to make the video. And there you have it. The different reasons for the different hammocks and tarps. I didn't buy them all to use them in different formats, I just bought them all over a period of time as different necessities came about. The 4.5x3 I tend to use off the side of my my car, my pickup, when we go camping to create sort of a living area, really, just an extra expanse. I've sold my gazebo cup because I don't need it anymore, particularly with those poles that I've got. Okay, thank you for watching. Sorry if I've bored you to death in this nearly 9-minute long video. I hope it's informative to some. Any questions, feel free to comment. Thank you.